Might help if I add myself to the live stream, right? What's up, everybody? We got some people already in here. What's up, Jay? Already in the mix. Oh, man. My intention was to be up here with like 10 or so minutes to spare, and then putting my kids down was harder than I imagined. I didn't even get to eat my watermelon. We'll wait for some people to drop in. Waiting on people because this, man, broke some heat records today. It's been hot as hell. All right. Oh, man. You can't be... I'll go either way, but it makes no difference. Seed or unseeded, doesn't matter. I eat it all. I eat it seeds and all. I don't even care. I used to spit them out, but it all goes down the hatch. I gotta catch up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it all goes down the hatch, man. Just a little extra protein is the way I see it. Just a little extra protein. So I've been away this entire week, pretty much. Elon, what's up, my boy? Hey, man, I'm right there with you, man. That kid has been absolutely killing them in the Olympic qualifiers, man. Just highlight reel after highlight reel. I'm glad we drafted the kid. He's going to be, especially what he does once the season starts, because word is Coach Udoka is already talking about, how he's going to be the centerpiece of the offense. So we'll see. I mean, this guy's just been putting on highlight reel like passes. I mean, just insane. So I'm with you, Elon. I can't wait to see his growth this season. Already in in the talks for what could potentially be most improved player of the year this year. I'm looking forward to it for sure. And honestly, I was looking through my collection and looking through, aside from, the obvious, right? Some maybe a gold Prism rookie. I actually, so other than the gold Prism gold rookies, some of the the higher end stuff, man, I got so many good cards, so many good Şengün cards. I don't even know what, I don't even know what would be that next thing that I would want to have of his, you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. It's definitely good to see. Good to see that kid coming out of the box. Mr. Stone, good evening, sir. Birdie's in the house. What's up, my man? I look naked without JD. We dropped the podcast a little late this week We skipped it last week. So last week, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, we were supposed to drop a podcast, but I ended up getting tied up the night before, had to fly out to California, and then I was there pretty much all weekend. So I wasn't able to get to my computer. I wasn't able to get it uploaded like I wanted to. So, we ended up skipping just a week of the podcast, but it was such a good episode and such a good conversation that we just decided to go ahead and upload it this week. So that is live on the channel if you guys want to take a look at that. Sorry, I'm trying to finish up my dinner here. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on, man. A lot of cool stuff. So yeah, we'll keep that thing going. We'll keep that thing going, Birdie. So yeah, I've been kind of out of it maybe this past week. I haven't really done much in terms of haven't done anything at all, which is why we're doing the live tonight. In terms of content and stuff. Just been super busy, man, and it's I'll be honest with y'all. So it's been starting in May. I hired a trainer so I can start kind of working out and kind of getting myself back into shape. And I forgot how utterly time consuming that is, and how time consuming that can be when you're doing it right and taking it serious. So a lot of my free time has been just completely consumed with just work, my normal day job, and then my kids and my wife, and then working out. I haven't really done a whole lot in terms of anything outside of that. So those of you may notice I haven't really been putting out a whole lot of content. One of the things that I did was, as a non-negotiable, was that me and JD are always gonna try to record an episode on Thursdays to have it ready to launch to you guys on Saturdays. But outside of that, it's been kind of tough for me to put videos out and find time to record videos and whatnot. So lately the content's been a little bit slow. However, really hasn't been a whole lot going on, to be honest with you, at least from my end. I know there's a lot of stuff that's out there, and we'll talk about some of it tonight. But as far as just my normal routine of putting out at least 2 or 3 videos a week, sometimes including and sometimes in addition to the podcast, it's been a little tough as of recently. So I'd like to tell you guys that it's going to get better, but the second year for me personally has a lot of trips with my family, and a couple of weddings that we're having this year that are out of the ordinary. Two of them this year that are out of the ordinary that we're attending. So we're talking about pretty much an entire week for both of those that I'm going to be unavailable. And then just between that and trying to wrangle the kids and find some time for me and my wife, and then just working out and taking care of myself physically a priority. It's probably going to be a little tougher to put some videos out. However, what I would like to do, and this is something that I was conversating with my brother about, he's like, man, you really should do more live, do more lives. So I want to do that. I want to kind of focus a little bit more on maybe once a week, finding some time to doing a live stream for a couple of hours. I tend to enjoy those a little bit more. And then as I'm available and as I have people available, have folks jump on the live stream with me and just chat. I really like the way Sports Card Radio does it. I believe they're on like every Thursdays or Wednesdays or something like that. I caught one of their live streams the other day. and they just kind of start just talking about current happenings on what's going on. I'll still put out the occasional episode, here and there. But again, it's just getting tougher and tougher. So, but I still enjoy doing all this. So it's definitely not anything that's lost on me to the point to where we're just gonna stop making content, because at the end of the day, it's pretty cool. But just this past week was a bit of an anomaly. On eBay, on my eBay store, I've put up a couple of really big Olajuwon cards that I'm selling. The green Prism, first year Prism, the green, which is the variant, the retail variant, and then the silver. I put both of those up. I had a really, really interesting card come up. I'll tell you guys more about it if I do manage to get my hands on it. So thinning out the herd a little bit, and then I want to focus a little bit more on Hakeem Olajuwon autographs, which I got a pretty good starting collection of. And then I pretty much have, the early Fleer stuff, 86. I have the 88, the 86, the 87, the 88, the 89s. So I'm kind of holding on to those. But then, as we get into all the autograph stuff, I want to really try to start to focus on picking up some autograph Hakeem Olajuwon stuff. So really trying to condense and focus my Hakeem Olajuwon collection down a little bit. And I got a lot of really good stuff, really good Olajuwon stuff that I want to move in an effort to put together some cash to go towards some of those bigger autograph Hakeem Olajuwon cards, low number, on card autograph type stuff. So as we as that goes along, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll get into currently what I've done so far on Arena. I won't talk about that too much. Just a quick little update. I got a lot of feedback on the last video that I did. Folks really liked the sales update, and I've been pretty active on there too. So we'll jump into that in a second. And as always, because I see that JD is on, just to piss him off, I'm showing you guys my Tom Brady Bucks rookie card. Just to piss him off. I don't know. That's fun. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. JD's in the house. When are JD and I doing a live together? We originally wanted to do one once a month for the Card Hedge podcast and do one live. I think we're overdue for one. We didn't do one in July. I don't recall us doing one in July. We might have. JD will correct me in the comments if we did, or in the chat. I don't recall us doing one in July, but we definitely got to do one in this month. So we'll figure that out. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll schedule that. We'll schedule that pretty soon. Inventec, we can go with demand supply review. Oh, that's not okay. That's not me. It says my account. Why is this? All right. Anyway, what is this? All right. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at for this week. What is that? JD, you and I need to ditch. I want to do our own thing. Hey, man, knock yourselves out, guys. Knock yourselves out. We need to. So yeah, we Elon was just talking about Şengün killing it in the Olympic qualifiers. Have you guys heard this situation about the John Morant card? I just saw some stuff about it. So the card that was already shooting through the roof because of the late wrapper that was on it. Oh, here it goes. Oh man, that one's already at the top of the heap. Is it number one? Let's see. I think it might be number one. No, number 3. Shohei continues to be the top dog, but this John Morant 2019 NBA Chronicles just continuing to skyrocket in price. If I look at the 1 year on this, it's insane. For those of you that aren't familiar with the card and don't know, this guy right here behind him is Young Dolph. He's a rapper from Memphis, who was courtside at the Memphis Grizzlies game. He was unfortunately murdered, and this is kind of his last appearance, I believe, before he was murdered, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of what the allure is. Much to the allure of the Menendez brothers card, you know, how they were at the game and all that stuff. I'm a big hip hop guy. I grew up on hip hop, so not a big fan of like the new hip hop. For those of y'all that are in their late 30s, early 40s, you guys know what I'm talking about. But I actually like Dolph. Dolph was pretty good. For those of y'all that know 3 6 Mafia, also, not sure if you guys are from the South, you understand who 3 6 Mafia is. That's Crunchy Black from 3 6 Mafia right there. But what's also interesting is so there's Crunchy Black right there from 3 6 Mafia. Young Dolph right here. And most recently, the Tuohys from the movie The Blind Side, or basically Michael Oher is coming back and saying, hey, you guys told me that what I was signing was adoption papers. And it turns out that it wasn't. It was a conservatorship, basically handing over all of my rights to you guys as my conservators. I think that's how you say that. It's kind of the same thing that was going on with Britney Spears and her parents. Her parents made her sign like this conservatorship when she was like losing her mind. And so they basically had control over everything, her finances and all that stuff. And he basically said, well, you guys didn't give me any money from that movie, The Blind Side. You made me sign over. You guys had power of attorney over me that you made me sign, telling me that it was adoption papers so that I could be part of your family. Anyway, basically saying that the Tuohy family stole millions of dollars from him when they signed away the rights to have the book written that the Blind Side was ultimately based off of. So they signed over the book rights and the movie rights, and they made millions of dollars. I think it was such a box office hit. It grossed like $300 million or something like that worldwide. And they made a crap ton of money off of it. But that's them right there. The original Leanne Tuohy, I think is the lady's name, and this other guy. Which, by the way, who was it that played him in that movie? That guy did himself. Was it Tim McGraw? Yeah, it was Tim McGraw. Sean Tuohy. Sean Tuohy, this guy right here, funny enough, who looks just like a big old fat slob, got the dime piece that is Tim McGraw, a dime piece at the time, to play him in the movie. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, they are also in this infamous rookie card for John Morant, which is hilarious. And now, because of that, this card has skyrocketed in price yet again, which is hilarious. So if we look back at all the data that we have in Card Hedge, you'll notice a few spikes. This was a $80 card in a PSA 10, $50, $60, $50, $40. I believe Young Dolph passed away. Let's see. We'll look at it right now. When did he pass away? November 17th, 2021. So November 17th, it was still a $40 card. November 11th, it was a $45 card. November 15th, it was a $40 card. Young Dolph passes away. It's still a $45 card. And then once people realize, it shoots all the way up to a $350 card at its peak, which is nuts. I mean, that's, but then still never comes down below a $152 card, $150 card. So it went from a $40 card to $140, $150, $160, $170 card. And then we had another huge run up middle of last year, May of last year, where it put it at a $200 card. This, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is when Ja was going nuts in the playoffs. Could be July. No, this would have been off season. Interesting. I don't know why that one went up that way, but anyway, just the normal run ups, and then still hovering around $100 and $200 card, $200 card. And then we find out that the two are in it, and then now it's at like about $300, $400 again. $300, $250, $300. So just a really interesting story on this card. Yeah, Jay says it was 2021. That explains a lot. Yeah, it does. And I mean, again, JD and I in this last podcast episode, which I encourage you guys to go back and listen to, talking a lot about what's happening and where players have room to exceed their current expectations as players, and how many of these players that are hot and have rookie cards that are in the $200, $300 already have some of that success built into the price of their cards, and whether or not a player even has the ability to exceed that expectation and then ultimately make a run up on the cards. There was obviously some success built into Ja Morant's cards. He is a high explosive player. There was already some buzz built into that, but ultimately, what ended up, even now that he's not playing, I mean, his cards are going up like crazy. And this one in particular has gone up twice for things that are essentially not even tied to his basketball playing game. So just interesting that such pop culture things can make some of these cards run up, right? I mean, it's what was the 1990 hoops? Who was it wasn't 1990 hoops. Mark Jackson. There it is. So this one again, if you're not familiar, which I gotta imagine everybody is by now, still is a $300 card, the Mark Jackson in a PSA 10. Which, Lord knows, that is not a 10. I mean, that is chipped up Chip City. But again, kind of the same scenario, right? This card is infamous for those two guys that are right there who murdered their parents. I can't remember if the word is that in this photo, they had already murdered their parents and then ultimately bought the floor seat tickets to go to the game and sat there at the game watching the game while their parents were deceased already. Just stone cold. I mean, that's, kind of eerie, but anyway, interesting that cards like that are there's cards out there that are worth money because of these oddball stories. Yes, top choice. Good. That I was just about to go to that one. Sam Vincent, 1990 hoops. Sam Vincent. For those of you guys that don't know the story, the only reason why this card is famous and worth anything is because you got Michael Jordan sitting here in a Bulls jersey that dons the number 12, which is an oddball situation. The story goes that somebody stole his jersey that day prior to the game. They couldn't find one, so much so that they went out into the stands trying to find somebody that potentially had a extra large or extra large Jordan Bulls jersey that they could probably just borrow from, and they can never find anybody that had one on that was big enough. And so he ended up having to wear a number 12 jersey for that game. And it just so happens that the photographer captured that. And then that's ultimately what made it onto this Sam Vincent card. But what's interesting is that this is series 1. And in series 2, this photograph has been, it's a different photograph. It's not even the same thing. It's Sam Vincent. But in the series 2, they corrected the picture. And it's just Sam Vincent. So interesting story about that one. I don't know if you guys know any more stories that we could look up that'll be interesting. The other one that comes to mind is the what is it, the Bill Ripken FF Air. I still don't have this card. I need to find a copy of it. I want this card just for the story. Bill Ripken, fuckface. Again, story goes that the photographer was there to take the pictures from Fleer, and then he picked up a practice baseball bat and he had no clue that was on there. And then neither did the photographer. Nobody really paid attention. There's no way. This card's $400 right now. Is that really what it's going for? Well, in a PSA 10, yeah, I would assume it is. Holy crap, man. That's pretty serious. A couple bucks in a 9. What's it going for? $28 in a 9. I'd say that's worth it. Probably should have been a 10, but PSA is probably pop count. Throttling that pop count. Oh, this is the black box over it. Okay, so this is what it looked like after Fleer corrected it. What is this? It says WNBA. Whoa, hold on a second. Oh, I can't get my thing off of this Zoom business. I'm trying to scroll up and down. Oh, great. Now I'm stuck in Zoom. Stuck in Zoom mode. How did I do that? All right. Well, anyway, I don't know how I managed to do that, but JD Sports, this combo is linked to your last video about what makes cards. Make a card, Dunking Jordan, dead people and crooks. Dead people and crooks. 2018-2019 NBA hoops, Pascal Siakam. What? 2018. Oh, hold on a second. What happened here? All right, something funky's going on with my. Oh, that's why. My control key was stuck. 2018, 19, Pascal Siakam. Hoops. Let me see. I want to see this one. But that's not his rookie card, though, is it? No, that wasn't Siakam's rookie card. Oh, no, that's Prism. No, that's Prism. Anyway, a lot of cool cards with a lot of cool stories like that are interesting. But believe it or not, there's actually people out there that just collect these little oddball stories on these cards. Oh yeah, Jordan as Johnny Kilroy. That's a good one. I got that one. But that one was based around like an entire like marketing campaign for Jordan. Paul George with Drake. Drake's everywhere though. That dude's all over the place. Let's see. I wanted to take you guys really quickly through what I've done on Arena the last few days. Man, I had some people. A little funky thing about Arena. I had some people send me some stuff. Like they sent me, like they bought a card from me, and then their payment didn't go through because they were using like some weird ass like e-check. Who the hell writes checks anymore? It's just stupid. But anyway, if I'm looking at the last 7 days, kind of slow. Last 30 days has been crazy, but the last 7 days have been kind of slow. Only one sale, damn, and that one's pending. And again, this is kind of the weird stuff when it says pending. It's like, but I did make some pretty weird trades. Not weird trades, but we'll look at this one. This, I don't know shit about soccer, so somebody offered me this Marcus Rashford for a David Robinson in a 9.5 Topps Finest. And of course I'll take a David Robinson over a soccer player that I have no idea who he is all day long. I probably got fleeced on this deal just simply because like I don't know shit about soccer. But I wanted a David Robinson card in my collection, so that was kind of cool. I did this other trade. Manny Machado for a base Brock Purdy and a Moses Moody. Again, I have a stack of Brock Purdy's right here that need to go out and get graded, which I will eventually grade, which a lot of you were talking mad shit when I was buying them. And I'm sitting pretty right now. This one right here was an interesting trade. This guy, it was another Brock Purdy, 2 base Cade Cunninghams, a base Trey Lance out of Chronicles, a Patrick Williams out of Mosaic, and a DeAndre Swift out of Rookies and Stars for a premium CSG or CGC, John Morant. This is how I got that soccer guy, Marcus Rashford soccer card. And then I got a Zion player of the day, which I didn't really care about too much, to be honest with you. I was really interested in this jaw, so I did get this card. I've recalled a bunch of cards also, so we'll see how that goes. Let me see, what was this other one? Oh, here's another one. I traded this first edition base set. Well, not first edition, but base set Charizard. A 3. It was an Arena 3 because it had a surface crease right here which if I was trying to zoom in and see it, I couldn't really see it in the scans. I couldn't see it in the scans, but it's there apparently. This is one of the cards that I recalled because I want to see kind of what's what. But we'll see. Anyway, I had a bunch of base Kobe cards that I traded him. This guy was a big Kobe fanatic. I really wanted this Charizard, and I just like I said, obviously I have a lot of love and respect for Kobe, but not the biggest Kobe fan in the world growing up. I was the Allen Iverson guy, not much of a Kobe guy. So yeah, but I did have some Kobe's. I sent all of my Kobe's into Arena as trade bait, really. And I walked away with this, base set Charizard, which was pretty cool. Let's see. Great. Yeah, I mean, a great trade for him. Rookie soccer for vet basketball. Thanks for. Yeah. So I mean, again, this is the situation in that particular trade was that I really didn't know who this Rashford was at all. And I don't follow soccer. So even if I did follow soccer, I mean, I probably would know a little bit more about the guy, but I feel like soccer, it would be really hard for me to collect soccer because first of all, I don't have a rooting interest in soccer. But even if I did have a rooting interest in soccer, it would be hard to collect anything outside of a PC in soccer. There's just so many soccer teams, and there's like so much that you can do, inside of a soccer game. I don't know. It's too much. There's too much going on in soccer. That's why I like basketball, because there's 5 players on the floor, right? And there's just a more focused attention. And of course, I love David Robinson, the Admiral. Who doesn't, right? I mean, the first big man. Actually, Olajuwon cooked them pretty bad, but he was a beast. He was a beast. David Robinson was an absolute beast, and Topps finest, and in what is relatively great grades. This is one of the reasons why I did a recall on a handful of cards. Because what I want to do is I want to resubmit those to other grading companies and see kind of what's going on. Here's another trade that I did. Second year Patrick Mahomes and a 2018 Tom Brady for a gang of Nolan Ryan cards, because I do kind of want to start picking up a good Nolan Ryan collection. And this is kind of my way of jump starting that. Also, I got a Jeremy Pena Bowman Chrome rookie, and then a Deion Sanders with the Shag. Just a badass card. I don't know. I got a 10, so we'll see kind of how that crosses over. But anyway, yeah. So just a lot of good trades happening. Ziggy's asking about what does it cost to recall the cards. It's $1 per card. If you want to recall cards, it's $1 per card. So anyway, that's what I've been doing on Arena. So we'll jump off of that. It's $1 per card to recall, plus shipping and insurance. So whenever you tell them that you want to recall your cards, it'll pull up your entire list of cards that you have available, and then you just kind of start ticking off which ones you want to recall. For every one that you tick off, it's $1. And then on top of that, when you move on to the next step, they'll ask you, okay, say that you picked 20 cards that you want to recall. Okay, that's 20 cards that you want to recall. That's $20. And then they'll ask you, what is the retail value of these 20 cards? And let's say that those 20 cards are worth, I don't know, $200, right? They're $10 a piece. So you type in $200, and then it's going to calculate shipping insurance for those 20 cards, for the $200 value that you've put in there. And then once you do that, then it's gonna kind of pull everything up, and then also charge you shipping. So I think it was like, I recalled 32 cards, or no, 20. I think it was, I recalled 20. What did I do? Let me see if I can pull that order up without showing too much business. So here is. Okay, yeah, I can pull this up. So I'll show you guys. So I recalled a total of 15 cards. And they charged me $15 for that. And then the insurance was $3 on that. I think that was based on, I forgot how much I told them that all the cards were worth. But that was $3 that I paid for insurance, and then it was $12 to ship them back. So the total to ship back 15 cards was $30. And I shipped back some pretty interesting stuff. A lot of F1. So all the F1 that I traded for, I shipped it all back to me. Yuki Tsunoda, I love that kid. That kid's. I'm so excited for F1 to come back next week. Michael Jordan Skybox Emotions, which is a card that I've always wanted to have. I got it in an 8.5. Again, the main purpose is I'm recalling all of these cards back. All the arena cards that I got, I'm gonna crack them and submit them to either SGC or PSA, one of the two. I haven't decided which one yet. But then I also recalled a bunch of PSA cards that were already a bunch of cards that I got in trade in Arena for PSA cards that were already in PSA holders. I recalled my Charizard back. I recalled some numbered F1 stuff, all of my Nolan Ryan stuff. And then I also recalled back some cards. So my declared value was $500. So I also recalled some cards that I sent in that ended up getting really good grades. The Shaquille O'Neal rookie, for example, was one that I traded or that I sent in for trade bait. It ended up getting a really good grade. I thought it was a good shape. The card was in good shape, but it got a really good grade from Arena. So I'm curious to see what PSA will cross it over to. So I'll do a whole documenting and follow up episode on all that stuff. But again, I know a lot of you guys don't like me talking about Arena and all that stuff, but ultimately what I want to do is just kind of document my experiences with them and kind of what I've done. But the other thing too is part of what I'm saying is valuable in the sense of what Arena is doing is that you could do some trading for some cards that you really want, even if they're in Arena slabs, and even if you consider an Arena slab to be useless and completely not valuable at all. That's fine. You can still make a trade for the card itself, retrieve it for essentially $2 is what it ended up being per card here. Retrieve it for $2 and then crack it and resubmit it as I'm going to do to kind of test out where they are in terms of what PSA and what SGC would grade those cards also. So yeah, we'll see kind of what they come back, and I'll kind of document the whole process and kind of keep you guys in the loop on what's going on. Global's in the house all the way from Australia. Appreciate you stopping in, buddy. Thanks, man. According to Greg Popovich, David Rodman helped keep the Spurs in San Antonio. I don't believe Hakeem has had that distinction. All right, Temple. Do I need to play you the clip? I'd play you the clip, but I'm going to get demonetized. I'll play you the clip where Hakeem Olajuwon put David Robinson in a washing machine, sir, and completely embarrassed him in the NBA Finals. So, I mean, in the playoffs. So let's not try to put, the Admiral's the Admiral. Don't get me wrong. Much respect for David Robinson. However, he's no Hakeem Olajuwon. He's not even holding Hakeem Olajuwon socks. So let's not even go there. Ziggy, I would completely agree with you with this statement. I know you and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, and we still respect each other, but that is absolutely accurate and correct. That is my view of what Arena is doing. So add that, right? Add this fact, that you're saying Arena is raw card review for $5, but then add this to the fact that you can also, for $5, get your card onto the Arena platform, which they have a great online marketplace and the ability to make trades and sort of wheel and deal much that you would do in a trade night at a card show. is awesome. And I've acquired some really great cards that I've wanted, and I've given up what could potentially be argued as too much for a particular card. However, I fall back on the distinction of whether or not a card is valuable to you. Um, Forgetting about the monetary side of things. Yeah, a card could be worth 20, 25, $30. But if you got it for, for what essentially was the cost of a blaster box, that also had 5 or 6 other cards that were worth some money, and they ultimately don't mean anything to you, there's no point in having them in your collection, in my opinion. They could essentially serve as trade bait, and Arena is a good avenue for you to throw that trade bait up there and ultimately get some cards back that you want. Listen, I got a Charles Leclerc numbered to 399, a Total Wolf numbered to 50. I got what other cards did I recall? I recalled some other stuff too. Cards that I never thought I would have. John Morant Chronicles, where he's dunking over Kevin Love. I got a first Charizard, base set Charizard cards that I never would have thought I had. I got a Allen Iverson gold medallion that I fleeced JD for. Just a lot of good stuff, and I'm pretty excited about that. So cards that I would have never had in my collection had it not been for being able to throw them up there on Arena and make some deals for them. Man, Global, and I can see why you're a Danny fan. I've said this, and my wife said the same thing, because my wife, both and I kind of got into F1, which is kind of another cool thing about F1 is that my wife got into it. But the grid just isn't the same without him. It's just not the same without him. And I think I think he's going to do well the second half of the year. He just ultimately has to outperform Yuki. And we'll see what ends up happening. I feel like there is a lot of hate going on right now for Checo, and I feel like they're trying to make Checo uncomfortable at Red Bull just so that he can opt out or get out, or they make him some kind of an offer or something. But the fact of the matter is that the dude's still number 2 against Verstappen, which is, Verstappen is just driving absolutely out of his mind right now. He's at the top of he's at the peak. He is at peak performance, and possibly the best car that has ever seen the F1 grid, in that Red Bull RB19. So, the kid's unstoppable. I don't care who's there at number 2. Lewis Hamilton said something stupid the other day where he was like, "Oh, if I was in that Red Bull, the same Red Bull that Checo was in, Max Verstappen wouldn't be in the position." Get the fuck out of here, man. He's so full of shit. You're Lewis Hamilton. So 5 years ago, it's not even funny, and he realizes that, and he's out of it. Whatever, Charles Leclerc, whatever. You know who I'm talking about, Jay. You got a binder full of F1 stuff too. It's a great boundary to enter 2 Star Stocks drowned. Yeah. You know what? I never got into Star Stocks. I have no idea who. I heard about it, heard of it. I may have jumped on the site a couple of times to see what was going on there, but just again, the user interface for Arena is what I've always loved. And then I was fortunate enough to have a good relationship with Alan over at Arena, who is one of the operations players over there. I've always had a good relationship with him, and so it was a good opportunity for me to jump in there and kind of test out some stuff. We need a PO box I can send all my base cards that my wife keeps complaining are taking up too much room. Elong, I don't know. I can't remember where you're at location-wise, geographically, but I've said this before. What I do is I pack them up in team bags of 30. I just randomly grab a bunch of cards and stick them in 30 packs. I make packs of 30, and I guarantee you that if you ask around within your circle of family or friends, there is an educator who would absolutely love to have a big box full of sports cards that they can give away to their kids. That's how I managed to keep out of having stacks and stacks and stacks of base cards. I usually give them all away. I give them all away to my local school. Luckily, my wife is in education, And then I also have through her, I have some connections to some people that are in special education that deal with a lot of the I don't want to call them troubled kids because they're not troubled. Just kids that have special needs and things like that, and they love the cards, and so it's a good way to unload a bunch of stuff. And the kids that love them, especially if they get something like something like this, like holy shit, man! You put one of these or two of these in every pack, along with a bunch of base cards. Man, they'll go absolutely batshit crazy, and they love that kind of stuff. So yeah, all right. So that's kind of the update on Arena Club, kind of what I've been doing there. So I'll keep you guys updated as all that stuff comes in. We'll see what's what. Yeah, or send him to Birdie. Send him to Temple Bird. He needs some base cards. I've actually thought about putting out something like that just in large to serve sort of as a hub for anybody that wants to do that. But man, a lot of folks just wanted to send me boxes of just cards, which is cool. It's great, but I'm the one that has to break them down, and I usually like to try to keep them in sports, right? So like all the baseball cards together, all the basketball cards together, all the football cards together. But it's a pain in the ass, man, to be honest with you. So yeah. What is the slab in this pack? Yeah, it'd be like a what do they call those hit parade boxes or whatever, where you're supposed to be getting like, I don't know, a certain amount of money and value and stuff like that. It's pretty funny stuff. Pretty good stuff. Haven't really been I did. All right, so check this out. Super excited about this because I think I talked about it in the actual the podcast this past week. I picked up a actual jersey card. So this is immaculate Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, rookie patch card, numbered to 75. And on the back, it says, the enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event, which tells me that it's at least associated with the player, which is as close as I'm going to get to a true patch card from my man Sengun. So pretty excited about that. Now, there is an actual RPA. However, I think it's flawless. Flawless. Let me see. And that card's going for a pretty penny and way out of my price range. Yeah, this guy's going for 6,500. Definitely not coughing up that kind of bread for this card. However, like I said before, one of the things that I was extremely angry with Panini about was the fact that they essentially screwed me out of owning a rookie card patch autograph. But it sucks though. It just sucks. But anyway, they do in fact have, this one is the enclosed game worn used material and autograph is guaranteed by Panini. Okay, cool. So there is one out there. However, it's $6,500. I don't think anybody's paying up that kind of money for Sengun right now, which is probably a good thing for me at the moment. Let me see. What are they paying? What are they paying for a patch? Okay, 500. Not bad. I don't know that this one is. I think all flawless is game worn, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Game worn material. Yeah, so this is a nice one. This is actually not bad. Man, I probably would have taken a shot at that. Patch auto to 25. Not bad. Nice 2-color patch. Not bad. It's actually not bad. Let's see. Okay, here we go. The vertical. So this is the vertical. This is numbered to 15. Went for 1,000. Flawless. Here's another horizontal patch card. Wow, this patch card went for 950. Jesus. This one went for 950, but then this one right here went for 400. I wonder what happened there. 500. It looks like it's the same card. 21 out of 25. Oh, that's why. Because this one's out of 10. The other one was out of 25. Yeah, here's another one out of 10. Went for 1,000, 1,000. So maybe I might try to offload a couple of some of my Shingun PSA 10s. And try to see if I can pick one up before the season starts. Actually, you know what? That's probably going to be a goal of mine to try to do that. Try to pick one up before the season starts, because I would really love to have one in my collection. I have a ton of autograph stuff. Jesus, this one went for $99. There's no way. No way in high hell this only sold for $99. Impossible. Impossible. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Game worn. 3-color patch. Beautiful card. Ruby, numbered to 15. On card auto. Must be something wrong with it. No? 3-color patch. $99. I don't know how the hell that happened. Hey, thanks to you too, Zig. I appreciate it, man. I don't know how the hell that happened. $99. $99. Anyway. Yeah, I got quite a bit of PSA 10 Prism stuff. I was buying those up left and right when they were like $50-$60 a piece. They're not doing so much now. What are your thoughts on content creators doing PWCC live auction strings? Not a fan personally. PWC auctions live streams. You'll have to walk me through that, Global. Is this the content creators auctioning off their own cards on a PWCC type of marketplace, or is this how does this work? PWCC auction live marketplace. PWCC live auction marketplace. Dun, 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 dun. Or are they just following the auctions as they're closing up, or what? Oh, holy hell, look at this card. Holy crap. That's a monster card right there. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Look at this juggernaut of a card. That's insane. Current bid $13,000. Woo! PMG. Wow, that is insane. PMG number 200. I think the first 40 cards in a PMG set were green. Then the remaining 60. Oh, that's funny. They generally go through cards they're interested in and live stream it. Okay, well, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So sorry, I know you're not. I know you're not a fan of it, but I just pulled up the PWCC marketplace and just happened to see these two absolute monster of cards. $70,000 for this red PMG. Wow, interesting. Altered. Even as an altered card, even as an altered card, this is fetching that much money. I wonder what they did to alter it. Maybe there was some coloring on it. Global was asking me, like, what do you think about these assholes jumping on PWCC and talking about the cards that they think are cool? And I'm like, what are you talking about? All right, let me jump on here and see what he's talking about. Oh, hey, look at these cards. They're pretty cool. I'm doing the exact same thing that my man Global hates. Listen, man, I think I guess I kind of understand what you're saying. What's interesting is that I genuinely just jumped on here and clicked on the link just to kind of take me there. What the hell happened here? So yeah, so it's a as I'm jumping on here and I'm looking at some of these cards, I mean those two just absolutely jumped out at me. I mean, PMG cards, you guys all know, those of you that kind of follow this era, PMG was like, the essentially the gold to 10 that everybody tends to chase on ultra modern cards. But even rarer still, because nobody was collecting them like that. I mean, precious metal gems, you had to rip boxes upon boxes upon boxes to find one. And it was essentially the entire set back then. Which is interesting. Dun, 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 dun. Tua, current bid on Tua is $12,000. Jeez Louise, man, what are we doing here? You know what's interesting is these sealed boxes. 2012 Select, 2012 Prism Basketball, which is first year of Prism Basketball. Case right now is going for $20,000. There's 3 days left. Look at this. This is another juggernaut of a card. Kobe Bryant, Topps Finest, Air Refractor card, PSA 10, current bid at $13,000. That is a monster card. RIP to the mom. But look at that young man right there. Young man ready to take over the league. Crazy stuff. PMG first 10. My bad, JD. I said first 40. Yeah, that's totally wrong. I knew it was the first handful, but insane, man. Look at that monster card. That's insane. Dun, 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 dun. And then just good old Jordan. You know what I've been looking at recently is picking up a low 1986 Jordan Fleer. Picking up a low grade Jordan. I mean, even in a 3 or a 4. I mean, you know what I'm saying? In a 5. What are they going for in a 5? Okay, maybe not. $4,000 they're still going for in a 4. What about a 2? Jesus, $1,900. Man, they're still in the thousands? Good God almighty. Look at this, man. Yeah, okay, never mind. Still out of my price range. Definitely not swinging that high. JD, yeah, this is not working, brother. This is not working. Yeah, no. 52-week low is $1,200. No thanks. Yeah, I guess I'll never be in the Jordan game at all. And I tell you what, this is too important of a card to ever buy raw. This would be one of the cards that I will never buy raw ever in my life. There's just too much trickery and tomfoolery going on. It makes no sense. No sense to ever buy this card raw. Dun, 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 dun. I bet you could walk into a good card show, which I think the Dallas card show was this weekend, which I missed out completely. But $2,000. I mean, I'll tell you what, if I had $2,000 just fall into my lap one day, I'd probably try to make a run at either a PSA 4 or a 3 or a 4. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my issue. I nickel and dime myself to death, JD. You and I both have that same problem. Oh, that's a good point, JD. I didn't even think about that. I'm sitting here doing this shit for free. I got to stop. PWCC wants me to. If PWCC wants me to start showing their auctions, then they got to send me some They got to send me some monies. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. We'll see what's going on there. Steve Kim in the house. Do you think Bukum Gold to 10 RPA is a hold? Marjan Bukum with the Bucks. You know, the thing is about the Bucks is that the Bucks are going to make it all the way to the high end of the playoffs. And I always find it interesting with these young players. I think he was drafted last year. Was it last year? 2022? Let me see. Yeah, so he was drafted last year. What kind of numbers did he put up last year? Let's see. Averaging 13 minutes, 5 points a game, 40% from the field goal line, 33% from the 3-point line. Those are some solid. That's solid shooting percentage right there. 40 from the field, 33 from the 3-point line. Those stats, Steve, with those stats, I would say that that's definitely a hold. And let me tell you why. Just because he's putting up those percentages on 13 minutes per game, and he played 52 games. So I'd have to look and see kind of what he did, what his progression was throughout the season. Maybe they didn't play him a whole lot. Maybe they gave him a chance. He put up a good, maybe 13, 14-point game, and they kind of started to sprinkle him in off the bench. But listen, as long as you got Giannis on your team, you're gonna put up good numbers as a team. The team's gonna go far, right? And because of that, you're going to get some shine on the biggest stage, right? And so if a player like that gets an opportunity, next man up sort of situation, and then all of a sudden just blows everybody out of the water with a great performance, then there you go, right? I mean, sky's the limit on guys like that. However, there are some people that are of the school of thought that if you hit a gold to 10 RPA on any young kid, sell. Just wherever you are in the market, just sell, right? If it's not a PC item, just sell it, get rid of it, make your money off of it, because chances are it's going to take maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 years for that player to develop into a really solid role. And if you're in it for the long haul, then hey, hold on to it. But with rookies like that, my idea is always to sell as quick as you can and either put that money into a Hall of Famer or put that money into in towards your PC. Look, I got very lucky with Şengün. I'm a huge diehard Rockets fan. So I did my research on this kid just because my team drafted him, and I was like, all right, who the hell did we draft? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on with this kid? And then I found out how freaking amazing he was. I was gonna PC him anyway, right? Just like I PC Jishan Tate, just like I PC Kenyon Martin Jr., just like I PC'd when we picked him up, KJ not KJ Martin, yeah, KJ Martin, but Kevin Porter Jr. I PC Jabari Smith. I PC Jalen Green, like all these guys. I was gonna PC Şengün anyway. It just so happens that the kid is absolutely outstanding. So if I were to hit a Şengün RPA gold to 10, I'm holding on to it. I don't care, right? But if I would have hit that card, if I hit that Bukum, I would have sold it and I would have rolled that money into a Şengün PC. You can't go wrong either way. I mean, strike while the iron's hot or wait for the iron to get hotter. Let's face it, chances are it's probably not going to get hotter. But you never know, right? The beauty of all of this is when you have your heart in a player and he ends up panning out and he ends up being just a phenomenal player. And you've been picking up RPAs, autos, low number prism stuff for pennies, right? You were spending $30-$40 on a white shimmer select, you know what I mean? Like you were picking him up when he wasn't anything, when nobody knew anything about him, and then all of a sudden they blow up, and you're sitting on just this massive collection of these very high, what is now considered high-end cards that weren't considered to be worth the paper that were printed on, 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, just imagine the guys that saw Giannis and were like, this kid has some serious potential back in 2013 or 2013 when he got drafted. And now all of a sudden they're sitting, and they've been buying ever since, right? And now all of a sudden they're sitting on just these massive, massive cards that are worth in the 5 figures. And it panned out pretty well for them, So yeah, it's kind of a tough call to say, Steve, but unless you plan on PCing, and unless you plan on having him as a PC, I would sell, man. I would sell, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there who's planning on PCing this kid, and they'll pay up. They'll pay up for him. And then you can move that cash into whoever it is that you're PCing. So that's my advice. That is my advice. Buy what you love. Buy what you love. Yep, no problem, man. Happy to help. PWC, head up piece of it. Yeah, listen, man. I don't really care about, dealing with sponsors is like, the Card Hedge deal was more of a partnership than a sponsorship. I have equity, so I'm just not a big fan of. I would love to hear how you would rank the last couple of years of NBA rookie crop. I actually have a video that I'm going to be putting together sometime this week. I actually have a lighter week this week, so I'll try to put it together this week sometime, talking about this very thing, because I think the last maybe 2 or 3 years of rookies have been pretty interesting, to say the least. It's just a different group of kids, they're not the same. The kids are not the same. They're definitely not the same. And if we're looking at the 2021 class, which is, Şengün and Green, again, just a different group of kids that I don't think have the same grit that some of the players have these days. But we'll see. We'll see who ends up being the best. We'll see who ends up being the best. I just need to pick up some more Şengün stuff. That's what I need to do. But I've been pretty light on the buying, honestly. I've been doing a lot more selling. I need to get some more stuff up on my eBay page, and I probably need to send some more stuff to Arena, so that I can continue to offload stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, PSA 10s are going, dang, for 100 already. Pink Prism for 100. Oh, you guys can't see what's going on there. With Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of room for, especially when a big player like that goes. He commanded a lot of the. He commanded a lot of the touches, and so because of that, VanVleet was a ball handler. And so anytime you take him out of the equation, there's a lot. Who's going to get those touches, right? Who's going to get those? Who's going to manage the ball? And Scotty's in a good spot for that, I think. So we'll see what he ends up doing there. Let me see who else is on that team that could potentially. Scotty's obviously the one. Who else do they have there? Dang, they really don't have a whole lot of talent outside of VanVleet. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what that starting lineup looks like. That roster. That depth roster. So you got Barnes, and then you got Grady, Jaden McDaniels, Gary Trent Jr. is kind of in there, but They just picked up Schroeder. I like Malachi too. Malachi Flynn. Let me see. What were his numbers last year? I think he did pretty decent. I always like looking at shooting percentage. 35 from the 3-point line, 36 from the field on 13 minutes. So, what could he potentially do? You give him another 5-10 minutes per game. Would be interesting to see. Grady Dick. That's another interesting one right there. He didn't play any minutes, but yeah, I like Malachi. Malachi's a good one. They just picked up Schroeder. Schroeder's another one. 32 from the 3-point line, 41 from the field, averaging 30 minutes last year. So he could be an interesting one as well. But then again, that was in the Lakers jersey. So yeah, who knows, man? I mean, again, it's all going to come down to where those additional, that additional ball handling time is going to go, right? Where's it going to go? But I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Scotty Barnes is in a good spot. If he ends up stepping up as like one of the best options for that, then yeah, he could potentially see some big upside. I mean, especially what was his average minutes last year? What was he averaging? I mean, he was already getting minutes. Yeah, like 34 minutes, 35 minutes. Yeah, so he was a starter. But 15 points per game, 28% from the 3-point line. Yeah. So it just depends on where they go, right? I mean, he's 45% from the field, 28% from 3. Yeah. Averaging 15 points a game. I mean, I could definitely see that average. So he was averaging 15, 6, and 4, or 15, 6, and 5, you can call it. He's got some room to grow there. Definitely got some room to grow. I can see him getting up to, I'd say, about a 18, 19 point average, maybe kicking up the rebounds a little bit more and the assist a little bit more, but he definitely needs to get that 3-point shooting up. He's only at 28% from the 3. We'll see. Hopefully that's what'll go. Let me see. Rookie season was 21-22, right? Yeah, he was definitely shooting better in his rookie season. 30% from the 3. Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Interesting to see that. What was he averaging? Yeah, same amount of minutes, roughly the same amount of points. Yeah, we'll see. That's interesting. Same amount of points, same but on better shooting, better 3-point shooting. Better 3-point shooting, less minutes. I'm assuming, right? No, same amount of minutes. Wow, that's interesting. So yeah, Scotty Barnes not a bad pickup, man. Be honest with you. His free throws went up. Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah, 73% his rookie year, 77%. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, and that's actually really true. I like this idea of his free throw shooting going up, being a good sign of his just overall form improvement when it comes to the shooting. So that's always interesting. But again, as you guys know, a free throw is much different than actually in the paint or trying to shoot a 3-pointer with a defender in your face. Anyway, yep, good stuff, man. Another Bobby Hurley. Yeah. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I was sitting here looking at that, and you guys weren't even seeing what I was looking at. I wasn't sharing my screen. All right. Somebody asked me if I'm picking up any football. No, I am not. I wish I was. I just don't. You know what? I'm not seeing what I like from Stroud. My Texans are a dumpster fire. They always have been. But I think they keep making all of these emotionally charged decisions in the front office, which I'm not always a big fan of. I know that the coach that we just picked up, he was, he's got some legacy here. D'Amico. He's obviously a legacy guy. I just don't think Stroud is the guy. Based on, but then again, so everybody's like, oh, these are just they're just preseason games. Well, preseason, if you can't get your shit together in preseason games, then I don't know. I think Long Neck's going to be back in the mix again. So we'll see how he pans out at on a second year. I think CJ Stroud needs to sit behind a veteran quarterback for a couple of years and really fill himself out. But I just don't. I just don't, man. I would love, because I love football too. Not as much as basketball, but I like to say that I'm 70% basketball, 30% football. And so we'll see what D'Amico Ryans does. This is a rookie coach. This is a rookie quarterback. This is arguably an inept front office for my Texans. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're a bunch of morons over there, ran by a big moron, Baby Huey, who just basically inherited his billions and the team from his dad, who was also an idiot, that just made hired his friends. And I mean, you're just not going to get anywhere like that. They're not ran like a true organization that's based on the desire to win. And the other problem is, and I've said this before about the city of Houston, there's so much industry and there's so much money and there's so much commerce and there's so much business in the city of Houston that just on corporate sales alone and sprinkle in some diehards here and there, the Texans are gonna. I mean, they're gonna sell out every game, and there's really no incentive. We're not like some of those cities that all they have is football, like a Green Bay or something like that, where if the Packers are losing, like you're gonna hear it from that fan base. They're not gonna show up. You're gonna lose ticket sales. You're gonna lose jersey sales. People aren't gonna buy. People, you know what I mean? And so that doesn't happen here in Houston. We got too much money. There's too much money flowing through Houston. There's too much commerce, too much, corporate people that are willing to, buy 200 tickets at a time, that kind of crap. If you've ever been to a Texans game, those of you who are local in Houston, it's more of a social event than anything. The Rockets games are sometimes like that as well, more of a social event than anything. And we're a big metropolitan city, and so that's just kind of what it ends up being sometimes, unfortunately. But no, man, I would love to pick up more football. I was actually more invested in football whenever I was a Ravens fan. I was a big Ravens fan. I was when we lost the Oilers, and then there was like a little time there between the Oilers moving out and then us ultimately starting. When we finally got the Texans in 2002, I believe it was 2001 or 2002 was our first season, our first year. And then our first game was against the Dallas Cowboys and we beat them. So that was like, holy shit. That was like a hell of a start to our season. But so yeah, we'll see. We'll see kind of how that pans out and how that goes. But ultimately what I would like to see is, the owner actually sell the team to somebody who has some experience with running a high performing football organization, because there's nobody in the front office right now that is part of anything like that. So we'll see. Yeah, I agreed. Low S2 score. Yeah, he just doesn't look, he looks like a true rookie out there. He really does. And I really hope that they're not looking to put too much stake in him, to be honest with you. I really hope not. Like I couldn't really name you anybody on the Texans right now, to be honest with you. And that's sad because I used to be able to tell you the whole freaking starting lineup. Let's see who we got. I don't know any of these guys. Oh, Laramie Tunsil. Okay, we got Laramie Tunsil. Damian Pierce. All right. Yeah, I think Davis Mills is going to end up being our quarterback. I really think so. I really, really think so. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I have no idea who any of these guys are. We did get, I was just looking at that. Oz just popped in. Devin Singletary. Yeah, I was just looking at that. So we'll see. What about you guys? What are y'all picking up in the chat? What are you guys picking up? What's on your radar? I told you guys that I want to kind of put together or start putting together my, you know, I want to pick up some Nolan Ryan stuff. I really want to get into some Nolan Ryan stuff. I might try to reach out to Mike over at Bench Clear to see if he can kind of guide me a little bit on what's kind of the good stuff to pick up for Nolan Ryan, because I really want to kind of start up a nice little collection. There's so much oddball stuff right now with Nolan Ryan. Also, like there's like a lot of like you know, just like I traded for some like Mother's Cookies cards that I think, I mean, just like stuff like that. I absolutely love like the oddball shit like that. And then the other thing I also want to do is you know, pick up like some Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, you know, the Killer Bees type stuff for the Astros, just hometown stuff. Listen, you guys know me. I'm a hometown guy. I like to collect hometown stuff. But there's just so much out there. And then somebody was telling me about calling cards. If you guys remember calling cards, if you're old enough to remember what calling cards are all about, there's a lot of Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Shaquille. I don't think Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, just calling cards from back in the day when you used to have to buy a calling card with a code on it so you can make long distance calls. That was always an interesting thing. But it's interesting stuff. Oh, Oz, send me your link, Oz. I want to check those out. But yeah, it's just interesting. There's like a lot of, especially like in the internet, like see, Padawan's reading my mind. International stuff. Yeah, like all these like oddball, like Michael Jordan, you know, just oddball stuff like this. Man, I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I got some Olajuwon oddball stuff that I really like, and I really want to keep picking up. But I don't know, man. I'm just kind of that's just kind of where I'm at. But curious what you guys got your eyes on. Oh, that's a monster card, dude. That Jambalaya. Jambalaya, Kobe Jambalaya. What are those going for these days? Such a cool card, man. Such a cool card. Yeah, cards like that don't sell on eBay. I looked it up on eBay. I'm like, yeah, nobody's selling that card on eBay. That's one of those PWCC auctions. That's a PWCC auctions card. Yeah, that's interesting. Wanted to trade one for at the Nationals, but everyone's Super Bowl was overpriced. Yeah, I keep hearing that too. A lot of people want to make deals. Oh yeah, Golden is another place to get a card like that. Bishop, what's going on, my man? Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, look at these new jambalayas. 2021 Metal Jordan Universe Jambalaya. Interesting. Just ripped 2 boxes of 91 Fleer basketball. Nice. You know what? That's another thing I need to start looking back at, is kind of getting into ripping some boxes again. Because I haven't ripped anything in a while, which is no good. I'm getting the itch to rip. I saw a box for sale of Optic. Saved searches. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, those are dope. Yeah, the Provisions. Matter of fact, I picked up the Jordan one not too long ago, where he's doing the reverse, like dunk or whatever. A 1992 Fleer Tony's Pizza. Interesting. Why is this in Canadian? Why am I in Canadian? What is this? That was weird. There we go. All right. Yeah, let me see. Let's take a look at some of these wax boxes and see what they're going for, because I'd like to pick up a wax box or two. Sorry, no WNBA. Let's pull that out of the search. Man, these things are still overpriced, man. I just, sheesh. 2016, 2017 basketball hobby box. A 12-card pack from a hobby box for $22. Come on, man. Get out of here with that crap. 2018, 2019. This is Panini Hoops. Sealed. Luka Doncic auto rookie card. Probably not. 12, 13. Oh, you guys know I'm a sucker for the premium stock. Still a very slept on product. I'm telling you guys. Very slept on product. This Hoops Premium. If John ends up getting his shit together, man, that's going to be an interesting product right there. Oh, hobby boxes of Hoops came down. $500. These were up in the 800s, I think, at one point. So that's interesting to see them. Pretty cheap. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Good to know. We'll add that to the list of boxes that I will never buy because they are too expensive. 2014-2015 NBA Hoops Hobby Box for $379. That one's within striking range, I would say. That is within striking range. I don't know why that's $600. Nobody's paying $600 for that, bucko. My LCS is selling 2022-23 Prism hobby boxes for $525. I just can't make. Yeah, that's crazy. I have an issue with spending the $160 I just did on Topps Chrome baseball pools. Luckily paid for itself. Nice. Birdie, you and I both know that the WNBA now is nothing like the WNBA then. Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. I mean, yeah. These women were ballers. These young chicks now, they're not the same. It ain't the same. 1998, 1999 Skybox Hoop Hobby Factory Sealed Box Series 1. $949. Not paying that. They still want too much for wax. This is crazy. They want way too much for wax. That's actually not a bad idea. What are the 2018-19 Chronicles boxes going? 2019-20 Panini Chronicles sealed. Let's see. Oh boy. Let's go basketball. Oh yeah, like these wax packs aren't bad. You get you a case. I wonder what that's gonna go for. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Look at this. You can get you a whole this is a whole set right here. Look at this. Chronicles, all the Chronicles. Oh, and some hoops. Oh, this is an interesting set right here. Dang, $560. The Illusions is garbage. There's really nothing there. This dude's got some soccer in there. This was clearly a scalper from back in the days that thought he was really going to do something. Yep. Yeah, 2019, 2020. I would probably be more inclined to pick up like one of these Chronicles blaster boxes. Yeah, I don't know if he stacked up more than he was just trying to scout people. There was a lot of that crap going on. So this one, you get 10 hanger boxes for $179. You get your one or two jaws out of there. You'd be in the money. You'd be in the mix. I might do that. That's actually not a bad. It's actually not a bad idea, Padawan. I think it's a cheap rip. and if you end up landing a good numbered one, or even like a green or pink or purple variation, you could do pretty well. You could do pretty well. So yeah, not bad. Not a bad idea. And people are starting to get hip to it too, because look at this. 2 hanger boxes, he's selling it for 120. This guy's selling a lot of 10 hanger boxes for 179, which that's actually not a bad. It's actually not a bad deal. That's really close to retail almost, believe it or not. I think retail those were $19.99, the hanger boxes. Yeah, I think they were $19. $19 for the hanger boxes. I think it was like $24.99 for the blasters and like $49.99 for the mega boxes back in the day. I say back in the day, this is like peak pandemic. Yeah, so this guy's got blaster boxes. This guy's selling cello packs. Yeah, I think you might be onto something, Padawan. This is going to be, oh, here we go. Mega box for $200. Get all the way the hell out of here. That's not worth anything doing that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I could be wrong. Yeah. $11.99. 15 hanger boxes for $4.50. You know what? I might have to jump on this deal right here for the 10 for $179, because I think this guy's sleeping. A lot of 10 Panini Chronicles NBA basketball sealed hanger boxes. All right, we're going to add that to the whole watch list. It says this guy's going to be away. He'll be back on the 23rd. I wonder how long he's been away. Probably long enough to not realize what these are going for now. Anyway, yep, that's an interesting one. All right, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do more lives. I really enjoy kind of doing these a little bit better. And then what I'd also like to do is as I do these lives, which end up being a couple hours worth of content, for people that miss the lives, I like to kind of try to take some highlights, chop them up, and throw them up on YouTube as little clips. So be on the lookout for those throughout the week. But check out the podcast, which is live today, the latest episode 39. We're coming up on 50 episodes. I don't know what we're going to do for the 50th episode, but we're coming up on 50 episodes of the Card Hedge podcast. That has been an absolute blast to do with my man JD. Yeah, so we'll keep that thing going. And at the same time, I'll keep you guys updated on the whole arena Kraken resub situation, and kind of let you guys know what's going on. I really want to do. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to do, man. It's just the time. The time. Who has the time? But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out for a bit. I will try to schedule the next one at least a couple of days ahead of time so you guys know what's happening. And yeah, we'll do that. Appreciate y'all hanging out, talking some shit, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.